I've been asked to speak with you about cross-training documentation and the steps that I took when I realized that this was an important process that needed to take place at the conference. I've only been in my role for a little over a year, and when I started this job, I did what I had done anytime I began a new role. I sat down with my employee and I said, okay, tell me everything that you do and show me how you do it. And while she showed me the main things that she did, and I have a general idea of how to complete her task, after a couple of weeks at home at the beginning of the pandemic, I realized that no one in the office knew how to do the things that I do. And the things that I do frequently have strict deadlines, like with the actuaries or the IRS. And that is when I realized that there had to be some actual detailed instructions on how I do my job and how my assistant does her job. Someone had to know exactly what we did if either of us got sick with COVID and were out of work for multiple weeks. This process looks very different than regular cross-training where staff members sit together and go through the processes, make notes, and take turns performing the procedures. Since my assistant and I were both working at home, we had to basically train ourselves to train others. And one of the benefits of doing this while working from home is the fact that having to do it in a new setting opened up our creativity and helped us to see areas where we were not quite as efficient as we could be. So the crux of this experiment was good documentation. And while we had systems documentation for our accounting system and for the reporting system that we use for benefits, what we did not have is the nuanced day-to-day detail of doing the work. It is easy to follow instructions if you know where to find all the details, but that information is not always readily available in a manual put together by the communications department at a software company. I reached out to my assistant to let her know that we were going to do this, but instead of just legislating it, I began the process so that she would have a blueprint. My documentation process was pretty low tech and can easily translate to your business. The first thing I did was to look at my calendar and put together weekly, monthly, and yearly schedules of tasks that I complete at the conference. I included everything from our annual enrollment for benefits to the tiny details on running reports in the accounting system. And then as I began a new task, I opened a Word document and typed step-by-step instructions with details about how to obtain the information, where the information should be input, and who else in the conference should be involved. There is no detail that is too small when compiling this documentation. As an example, every year we must put together a comprehensive benefits funding plan, which pulls information from many reports. I printed out the final product and wrote on the report detailed instructions of where I obtained the information for each line item, any notes provided by the reviewer of the document, and then I saved the backup document with the instructions. I wanted it so detailed that anyone in the office would be able to open the file and complete the process. The most daunting part of putting together documentation is knowing how to do your job, but not really being able to explain how you do it, especially when you've been doing it for a while and it's almost muscle memory as to where everything is saved on your network or where the reports are in the accounting software. My assistant has been in this position for years, and this was a bit of a roadblock to beginning, but once she saw that I was very invested in the outcome, it made it easier for her to begin documenting her task. And now when she takes vacation, she knows that she can depend on me to handle items that require immediate attention while she is away. This type of cross-training documentation allows employees to take a real break from work when they take personal leave, and it ensures the customers continue to receive good customer service while the employee is away. And if a manager includes themselves in the cross-training process, it shows that they are invested in their employees, and it can help managers understand what it takes to perform their employees' tasks and how they contribute to the company as a whole. While larger companies may have multiple people working in similar roles, there are many of us here in Georgia who operate with very small staffs. And the more we can cross-train our staff and ourselves, there's less of a chance of business interruption from having an employee go on vacation, take medical leave, retire, or take another job. And as an added bonus, when you have completed this process, you have wonderful onboarding documentation for staff in the future, which will make your future employees' jobs more productive by avoiding a steep learning curve. Thank you all for letting me chat with you today. I really hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions for me, you can actually email me at aking@ngumc.org. And I would like to take just a quick moment to remind everyone that the Society continues to offer really amazing continuing education throughout the pandemic. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification bell to be the first to view GSCPA videos. Follow us on other social media for even more society news.